Hi everyone, how you doing? Haven't made a video for a week, but I'm still here, my friends, and I'm still alive. Touch wood. Anyway, today's video about is the signs of a heart attack. I'll tell you something now, right? Anyone that's having a heart attack or anyone that's had a heart attack, you can be almost 100% sure there were signs of that heart attack, and I'm going to tell you the common signs because I had a heart attack 14 years ago, right? And I shouldn't have had a heart attack. I had spotted signs of the heart attack, the main signs of a heart attack. I had gone to the doctor and mentioned the signs of the heart attack, and the doctor didn't send me to the hospital. He just said it was something else. But I'm going to tell you what it was, right? The first sign I had of a heart attack was like 2.5 months before I had the heart attack. I had really severe jaw pain. Really severe. It was like I had an abscess. It was all radiating around here, right? So obviously thinking it was an abscess, I went to my dentist first and she took an x-ray and there was nothing there. No abscesses, no infections, nothing, right? So the next course of action, because the jaw pain was continuing, and anyway, went to the doctor's. Doctor examined me and said it was probably neuralgia, right? I thought nothing of this here until I bumped into a friend many years later, talking together. He says, by the way, I've had a heart attack. He says, what happened to you? I says, oh, I got a stent fitted. He says, it's funny you should say that. He says, I got a stent fitted myself a couple of years ago. I says, all right, did you? He says, yes. He says, a funny thing. He says, I had this terrible jaw pain and my mouth dropped. I says, tell me more. He says, I had this terrible jaw pain and I went to my doctor and the doctor told me that jaw pain is one of the signs, one of the most common signs of a heart attack. So he sent the guy up to the hospital for the stress test, which is the treadmill test, right? So he took the treadmill test. It found out that he had a heart problem, and they made an appointment for him to come in to get the angiogram. They brought him in, found that he had a blocked artery, and they stented him. But you know, why wasn't mine spotted? I spotted the sign, but the fact of the matter is, he didn't have a heart attack. I did have a heart attack. By my own observance, I could have actually stopped myself having a heart attack. Another symptom I did have of a heart attack as well was severe bouts of heartburn. I'd actually been teaching my daughter to drive at the time, and trust me, that wasn't related to the heartburn. I know she gave me bad nerves and so on, but didn't cause the heartburn. We were actually driving down to where I took her to drive, and it was actually outside the shop, and I had to pull over because the heartburn was that bad. Now, we all suffer from heartburn. I would still suffer from heartburn if I was eating something like tuna or other stuff that didn't agree with my stomach. But no, this was really bad heartburn. It sort of went on for about 15 to 20 minutes, and I thought nothing of it. I just thought it was stress, but it wasn't. This again was like 2 to 3 month period before the heart attack. It was the same as the jaw pain. It was around about the same sort of time period. But whenever I sort of went into the hospital and I was talking to a few other people, I was talking to a guy that worked in the bakery, and a month or so before he had the heart attack, he was actually suffering from like tingling chest pains and sort of like crampy chest pains, and even sort of like days before he had the heart attack, he was having even more severe chest pains. Now, I don't know about you lot, but if I had chest pains, I'd be up to the hospital right away. I mean, even there now, like 5 or 6 years ago, I actually thought I was having a heart attack. That's the thing. Now, you see, if you're listening and you do think you're having a heart attack, do not be afraid to get an ambulance out. I got there, I checked, I woke up one morning with this absolutely busting headache, right? So I have the wee blood pressure machine, and I checked my blood pressure, and it was 210 over 110, right? And I had a high heart rate as well. So I phoned the ambulance because I thought I was having a heart attack, right? So the ambulance came out, the guy took my blood pressure and he took the ECG. The ECG was fine, but they brought me up to the hospital to try and bring my blood pressure down. So I was in the hospital for like 4 hours until the blood pressure was brought down. And when the blood pressure was brought down, the headache was gone. That's how I always know whenever my blood pressure is getting elevated, I get a headache. But I wasn't having a heart attack, right? I just had very severe blood pressure. But the moral of that story is, do not think you're wasting the hospital's time if you think you're having a heart attack. You know, I know guys that have thought they've had a heart attack and didn't leave it. Well, sorry, they did leave it and they didn't get the ambulance out. And maybe weeks later, they've had a heart attack, right? They've had a more severe heart attack than mine. Because when I had my heart attack, I sort of woke up on a Sunday morning. I felt nauseous. I thought I was going to throw up. And then I felt the other way, like it was going to be diarrhea. And then when I looked at myself, I was like a ghost. And the sweat was just lashing down my head. And then the feelings in my arms started to go. But I knew. And this was at 8 o'clock. I had the ambulance at my door at 10 past. And by about half past, I was actually in the treatment room getting the clot bust. And by 10 to 9, I was actually in the ward and in the bed. So within 50 minutes of being in my house at 8 o'clock having a heart attack, I was in the bed, right? Now, that was 50 minutes. Now, they say that after an hour or so of having a heart attack, that is when most of the scar damage is done to your heart. So, getting to know your own body and knowing that there's something wrong there, uh, different signs that you're having a heart attack. Jaw pain is one of the most common. Jaw pain, the heartburn, chest pains, sort of like pains in your arm, your left arm mainly, and nausea, stuff like that. Do not be scared to get the ambulance and get up to the hospital. The worst case scenario is there's bugger all wrong with you. It was just a scare. I remember taking my father-in-law up to the hospital one time. He thought he was having a heart attack, and he wasn't having a heart attack. And some people would turn around and say, "Oh, that's a wasted journey." It wasn't a wasted journey. He came home alive. You know, he came home alive. You know, never take a chance for your life. Because you take a chance for your life and you actually are having a heart attack. If you do survive, you're going to cut a few years off your life because you'll get a bit more scar tissue on your heart. The longer you leave it, the more damage you'll do to your heart. So do not be afraid. Call that bloody ambulance and get yourself to the hospital as soon as you can, because even if you've had one heart attack, I've had another heart attack and I've had a stent fitted, and that was like 13, 14 years ago. Obviously, I still have that fear of having another heart attack, and I always try and look out for the signs that do appear of having another heart attack. And I mean, mainly the signs are nausea, which is what I had, and the sort of lack of the feeling in the arms as it goes on. You can tell by the colour of your skin as well. You'll look like an absolute ghost, and even looking at yourself when you're having a heart attack will scare the crap out of you. I can tell you that now. The jaw pain, the heartburn, chest pains, even struggling walking, and you find yourself more, there's more of an effort into it. You're becoming more breathlessness. You'll find breathlessness sort of like months beforehand. Go to your doctor, explain that you want to be sent up to the hospital, that you think you've got an impending heart problem, and that you would like the treadmill test, you'd like the stress test done, because you think that you're going to have a heart attack. Looking back, I should have actually said to my doctor when I had the jaw pain, look, I think I'm having a heart attack. I would like to request uh, being checked out at the hospital by the stress test, because if they refuse to do that and you end up having a heart attack, you know, that's going to mean your family can come back to them. And that is why a doctor will then send you up to the hospital for the stress test, because they do not want to be proved wrong if you end up having a heart attack. So basically, my friends, what I'm saying is, if you've had a heart attack before, you know, as we get older, we're like cars. And the best thing about living in today's age is it's not like the 70s where my dad, he died at 46, God love him. And they didn't have the technology we have now. Right now, we're like cars, Like, you've got one stent, right? But, if I get the feelings again that I'm having another sign of a heart attack, I'll get my butt right up to that hospital right away. And should there be a blockage in another part of my heart, happy days. I'm in the best place possible. I'm in the hospital. They'll do an angiogram, and if they see there's another blockage, they'll bang another stent in there, and then hopefully, like putting an exhaust in my car, that other stent will see me going for another couple of years. And that's what to do. Do not leave things. I mean, I really cannot. I know I've said it 3 or 4 times, but I can't stress that enough. Do not be scared to go to the hospital. It's the only way you're going to get treated. You phone the doctor will put you off. Just get right up to the hospital and say, look, I've had these signs, blah, blah, blah. I think I'm having a heart attack coming on. They will check you out. They'll run you through the ECG up there. I mean, they'll give you an ECG up there. And then if they think there's a problem with the ECG, they'll do other tests. And then it'll be resolved. I mean, there's no problem to getting a stent. If you look at one of my earlier videos, stent is an easy operation. I mean, I would rather get a stent than get a filling, and that's a fact. But signs of a heart attack, I've gone through them there. But the main ones are like nausea, jaw pain, heartburn, chest pains, breathlessness. But do not let these things go on. But anyway, I think I've gone on enough about trying to boss you into going to the hospital. But it's for your own good. I don't care if I go to the hospital and it turns out I'm all right. I'm all right then. But listen, if you could subscribe to my channel, I'm trying to get as many subscribers as I can. And if you could give me a like, and if you hit the wee bell there, that'll let you know when I'm getting another video out. I've been lazy the last while back. I just haven't been bringing out as many videos, but I just thought I would do one today because I was just thinking about the heart attack and the early signs, and the fact that I shouldn't even have had a heart attack because I knew the signs. I was just stupid enough not to go up to the hospital. But if it ever happens again, trust me, I'll be up to the hospital, and hopefully so will you. Take care, everyone, and thank you very much for watching. Oh, if you get a wee chance, leave a comment and let me know, what your signs were when you had a heart attack, or any sort of questions you'd like to ask, or if there's a video that you would like me to make, or something that you would like to know. I'll make a video about it and let you know about it. But again, thank you for following my channel, and if you've left me a like, thank you very much. Take care out there, every single one of you, and if you've had a heart attack or a stent fitted, let's hope it's the last one you get. And if you do need to get another stent, I hope watching this video will help you to watch out for the signs. Take care, my friends. All the best. Bye bye.